All right, let's dive into a war for the very soul of reality. This isn't a conflict fought with starships or armies, but with pure ideology, between two of the most terrifying forces you can possibly imagine.
So let's kick things off with this absolute bombshell of a statement from one of our main players. For him, this isn't some kind of threat. It's a fact. It's a universal truth that he's just waiting to impose on everyone. It's a philosophy of total, crushing certainty, but what happens when that certainty is the actual enemy?
And right there, that's the perfect counterargument. A completely different philosophy that doesn't just deny your choice, it needs it. It feeds on it, it weaponizes it, and it finds this strange, twisted beauty in the moment a person willingly chooses to destroy themselves. This is where the fight really begins.
Okay, so to really get what's at stake here, we have to understand who we're dealing with. Let's start with the architect of absolute control, the cosmic tyrant himself, Darkseid.
You see, Darkseid isn't just some powerful bad guy. He is the living embodiment of a cosmic principle. He looks out at our chaotic, messy, beautiful universe, and all he sees is a mistake, a fundamental flaw in creation that he and only he is destined to fix. So how exactly is he going to fix the entire universe? With this thing called the anti-life equation. Now, this isn't a bomb or some kind of death ray. It's so much more terrifying than that. It is a mathematical proof that hope, free will, your individuality are all meaningless. It's an idea so powerful that once you get it, you just give up. You lose the will to even resist. And the goal here is chillingly precise. This isn't just about winning a war, it's about forcing a perfect, silent alignment with Darkseid's will. He literally views things like choice, desire, even love as cosmic inefficiencies, bugs in the system that need to be wiped out. The ultimate endgame is to strip away every single thing that makes you you, until every mind in existence is just a blank slate, reduced to zero.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's not enough for you to obey him. The very idea of having a will separate from his has to be erased. That is his vision of a perfect universe. But what happens when that vision slams headfirst into a very, very different kind of predator?
So now let's flip the coin and look at the perfect philosophical opponent. Because if Darkseid wants to completely eliminate choice, our second monster, well, he wants to grow it, nurture it, and then turn it into the weapon of your own damnation.
So, say hello to Mephistopheles. This guy is not a tyrant. He's a tempter. Think of him as the most cynical banker of the human spirit. He hates brute force. For him, the real prize isn't a will that's been broken, but one that willingly, gleefully surrenders. He doesn't want your obedience. He wants to harvest your desire.
And his main tool for the job is the Diabolical Pact. The best way to think about it is like a high-interest loan. He'll give you something temporary and finite, power, knowledge, maybe a fleeting bit of freedom, but in exchange, the collateral, that's your soul, something of truly infinite value.
And that's the whole trap right there. The deal is specifically designed to guarantee that you'll default. It's a transaction that turns your own free will against you because it preys on this deep, fundamental foolishness of trading something eternal for something that's just temporary.
So you've got these two unstoppable forces. One wants to erase choice, the other needs to exploit it. You just knew they were going to start fighting over the same territory eventually, right?
From Darkseid's point of view, what Mephistopheles does is just pathetic. He's peddling cheap tricks, illusions. He has nothing but contempt for a system that's built on exploiting weakness and desire when he offers the one cold, hard truth of his reality. But Mephistopheles? Oh, he sees things in a totally different light. A soul that's just broken by force is worthless. It's boring. But a soul that sees the consequences, that knows the price, and still chooses to fall? Wow, that's not just a win for him. That's art. So let's just lay it all out, side by side, because the difference is stark. To Darkseid, you are just raw material for his new universe, a cog in the machine. But to Mephistopheles, you're a potential masterpiece. Darkseid's goal is to wipe out free will entirely, while Mephistopheles absolutely has to nurture that same will to get what he wants. One uses overwhelming force, the other seduces you into just giving your power away. So what could possibly bring these two titans into direct conflict? One person, One single mortal who, in a moment of pure desperation, makes a deal with Mephistopheles to learn about the one thing that defines Darkseid's entire reason for being. This person stepped into both of their territories at the exact same time. And Mephistopheles' reaction to this cosmic collision? He's not scared, he's not worried, he is absolutely delighted. He sees this not as a threat, but as the most interesting game in the world, a game for the highest stakes you can imagine, with all of reality as the playing board.
So, where does that leave the rest of us? The whole universe? Well, basically, caught between two perfectly engineered paths to total ruin. Two perfect systems of control. The choice you're presented with is, well, it's pretty bleak. On one hand, you can have your entire being, your will, forcibly erased by a tyrant who thinks your very existence is an error. Or you can have that same will carefully manipulated by a devil who sees your self-destruction as his greatest creation. It's absolute submission or it's engineered ruin.
And really, that's the question we're left with, isn't it? When the only options on the table are two different kinds of servitude, does the illusion of making a choice actually matter? Is the freedom to pick your own poison any kind of freedom at all? Or is it just the most elaborate, convincing cage ever built?